Hello, this is David Coreen, and joining me today are Eric Maddox and Ken Officer Beiter, and we are going to be doing a Boolean search session on Monster for one of our clients, and that is an estimator. How exciting! Are you ready, Officer Beiter?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. What about you, Eric?
Fired up.
Love it. Let's take a look and see who it is that our client is looking for here. So we know that they're looking for an estimator, and they are saying that they want somebody that has retail construction experience, and they're a general contractor, and they're looking for that construction estimator. What are they doing? Tenant improvements, interior fit outs, remodels, and remediation. What does all that mean? It means that, well, when they have an existing tenant and they want to spruce up their building, they call these guys in. The estimator is out there and he'll gather up just how much all of that is going to cost, gives an estimate on it, and if it's the best estimate or the estimate that the company is most comfortable with, the company gets the bid, the company gets the business. Isn't that about how that works, Aaron?
That's exactly right, David. And that tells you how important this person is to the company on their bottom line as well, whether they get the business sometimes and also how exact that can be. So a big position for companies.
You give an estimate and your company ends up losing money, and that's a lose proposition. And if your estimates are way too high and the competition is coming in for a boatload of money cheaper, well, then you're never going to get that business in the first place. So estimators are highly paid, highly valued positions. By the way, as a side note, some of these guys are making $80,000, $100,000, $150,000, especially in the area that we're looking for, and no college education required, is there, Eric?
That's exactly right. And it's unbelievable in this day and age when they put such a high price on a bachelor's degree, so to speak, and things that you have guys with a high school diploma that are coming out that have on-the-job experience that make them 100% invaluable to a company and make that kind of a six-figure job. Impressive.
Well, what is it that makes a good estimator? Certainly logic, good math skills are important. In this case, the company is looking for a product, a software package called PlanSwift, and also Excel. So there are many estimating software products out there, but many companies resistant to change are old school, fire up an Excel spreadsheet and get it done that way. Prepare cost estimates, analyzing proposals, requirements, estimator job duties. This is all very standard estimating stuff, isn't it, Officer Beiter?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Don't give them too much information, Officer Beiter. Just answer the question, and that's all. So, estimating, proposals, blueprints, identify labor materials. Now, any of these things that we can put inside of our Boolean? Well, I mean, the answer is of course, if it leads to us finding the right candidate for our client and ultimately making a match. So, what am I going to use? What am I going to use as far as estimator is concerned? There's a lot of different ways of slicing and dicing this. We know that the location is in New Jersey, and specifically, we are going to look for some low-hanging fruit, and the zip code is 08857. You must have an active subscription to Monster in order to access the site and to access this part of it. I'm not a big fan, by the way, when you go to find candidates, it automatically defaults to this power resume search. Well, I don't like it, Eric. You like it?
Hate it.
Okay. Well, I think the main reason for that is it's based on what they use as semantic logic. It'll bring back who Monster thinks is the right person, and really no other way to kind of slice and dice it. Nice to have and all that. We're going to use classic Boolean search, and I think that really is the best way still to this day of getting the exact kind of person that you're looking for. So if you have an active subscription to Monster, great, you can follow us along. If not, call those guys, get you a seat. I like to look at resumes that go all the way back, and I have it sorted by whoever posted most recently and then past that, rather than letting Monster kind of determine its own algorithm. So if you do have a seat on Monster, one of the first things that I encourage you to do is go into the settings function and change your settings so that when you do get the results back, it's listed by chronological order. as opposed to relevancy, because Monster don't know what relevant is or isn't. Sorry about that, Monster. Hope y'all don't kick me off of your platform.
Hopefully they won't, because they're not ready to take our job yet. That's why we're here.
Well, that's exactly right. And for anybody else following along, you'll see some other ways to kind of slice and dice Monster here. I would say 90% of the time we use the main toolbar up on top. But the good thing is about the construction industry, especially when it comes to estimators. Well, they got that title, estimator. Now, the bad thing is that unless the person who posted their resume on Monster filled out all the fields, you're going to miss a bunch of people. But I'm going to go for some low-hanging fruit, and I'm going to look for people that have their most recent title as estimator. But here's what I know. That estimators, oddly enough, don't know how to spell estimator. So what I'm using here is a Boolean operator, the asterisk, the wildcard, as some may call it, and it'll bring back everybody that has estimate, or eight, without the E, and further. So estimate is one. Officer Beiter, can you give me another example of what we may see in this example?
Estimator.
Estimator, estimate, what else?
Estimating.
Estimating, could be a senior estimating manager. Could just be an estimator. Could be an estimator that spells it as an OR on the end, or it could be an estimator that spells it as an ER on the end. And Eric, we've seen plenty of both, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's not against the candidate every time. It's sometimes it's a typo that's not caught. So.
Oh, well, you're being very kind and all that, Eric. I think that it's an estimator doesn't know how to spell his own title, but be it as it may, we're going to help them out. Our job is not to judge them on their spelling, but to judge them on their estimating capabilities. So who do we have that is just an estimator that's posted up on Monster? And if you can tell over here, we got a, what does that say there? Is that 65?
65.
Okay. 65 people are all senior estimators. They all have the estimator title in here. Now, you may find this interesting. Every single person here, as you will notice, has the title. Now, some of these are obviously not going to be the right people, because in this case, you got a mechanical engineer who's doing estimating. So I'm assuming you're doing some mechanical estimating, possibly for air conditioning units. And some of these you're going to have to really drill down and see who it is that they work for. To demonstrate, over here, we have estimate. Now, if I simply take it out of here and put it into the main search bar, we're going to go from, are we going to get more or less people for our results, Officer Beiter?
I would imagine way more.
Way more is right. We've got over 1,000 of them. And if we look over here, many of these, like Sanjay or Mike or Victor, in fact, I would say about 30-40% of them don't even have a title. So low-hanging fruit idea is if you want to get an estimator that is an estimator and has the current title of estimator, and they bother to fill it in on Monster when they filled in all the other stuff, great, use that. But you're definitely going to miss a lot of people. So being how this is a Boolean search session, and we're here to kind of expand on our Boolean, why don't we try to do that? So let's say the first time, use, nope, wants to correct me, doesn't it?
It really does.
I don't like that.
Definitely love the fact that if we get somebody who has the estimator in their title right away, like you said, low-hanging fruit, love the immediate feedback you get from that, just to see them that they're probably half of those people are maybe what you're looking for. You can contact them. But as we're seeing, lose quite a bit of them, going from 65 to over 1,000. Now we got to weed out some of those, don't we?
So what are some of the things that you think that we can put in here that will help us get to the kind of candidate that our client is looking for? What are some things that are appropriate specifically to this company, Eric? What's your thought here?
My thought is they do a lot of retail work. They also are going to do cost budgeting. So I'd say there's a lot of things we can go with. So for me, they're going to do fit outs. They're going to do interiors is their main thing. tenant improvements. So for me, I'm looking at maybe some of the work they're doing in particular, and the type of work it's being done on with those buildings being in retail. So some things we can work on. I see you've highlighted some software as well. So
Anything of that?
Yep.
Excel seems pretty broad. Plan Swift. Well, if you're not familiar with Plan Swift, and I can't pretend that I'm a genius when it comes to that as well, Google is your best friend. So putting in Plan Swift for contractors, and we see it's an estimating and takeoff software, we can really find somebody that kind of hits the ground right. And there's a whole bunch of other ones over here. We're familiar with every one of these. Bluebeam is very popular as well. But we do know from executing Booleans that people are going to write Plan Swift, or they're going to write Plan Swift with a space in between. So maybe, and I don't know how many of them are in here, Eric, but why don't we try Plan Swift or now, Officer Beiter, why did I write it as Plan Swift with quotes and a space in between, and then I wrote Plan Swift as one word? Why did I do that, and why does it even matter?
Because the quotations are going to pull up any instance of the words plan and Swift together in that exact order, versus plan Swift being one word, quotations not necessary.
Exactly. And if the person says that I have a plan to take over the world and it will be Swift, if I don't quote Plan Swift, then it'll pick that up. But if I have Plan Swift just like that, it has to appear just like that. Now, that's the quotes, but what about the parentheses? Why am I using parentheses and then I have that estimate with an asterisk there, Ken? Ken. Your name is Ken.
Well, repeat the question, please.
The question is, why do I have estimate here and then I have these in parentheses? What will this Boolean accomplish for us, for those of us that are just tuning in and new to Boolean search system?
Well, here we are trying to connect these things together. Using this Boolean, all of the results that we get will have the initial estimator, estimators that we're looking for. In addition, Plan Swift or Plan Swift with a space, as we've written it, will also appear in those resumes.
And I'm kind of curious, you're exactly right, whether or not somebody will write Plan Swift with the two words or not. I bet you that they will. So I'm going to copy this Boolean here, and I am going to try to paste it back into Monster. We already know what Plan Swift is. It's an estimating software. So now, is my Boolean here, just for the readers can see that. Same thing. Take a look at it one more time. I know that specifically that we are within 20 miles of the zip code of our client. Now we got 41 people. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting to me is this. None of the first three have a title, their most current job title, in here. This person's a receptionist. Somewhere in there they have estimating, and they're probably not the right person for us, or maybe they are. I don't know. In fact, there's not a single person, except right here, that has estimator in their most recent title. So you really do have to drill down deep. Now, the purpose of this is not to specifically identify the actual candidate and whether or not they're a fit for our client. The purpose of this is just to introduce the listener to basic Boolean searches, see if we can identify why it is that they're coming up. So this person over here is an office manager and an estimator. And they're using Plan Swift to do some estimates. Now notice how estimate right here came up. Estimator over here is coming up. She's working at a canine retreat. How New York of this. Canine retreat. That sounds pretty nice, actually, Eric.
It does. It does.
I wonder what all that encompasses.
My dog will never know.
I don't see my. If I had a dog, I don't see mine taking mine to that also. So we see over here estimation. You see it come up over here. Now this person wrote Plan Swift
Space
with a space. And we saw Bluebeam previously is another estimating software, so it looks like he does have some experience there. But also notice that although Parth does have current titles, over here is a project engineer, and over here a graduate assistant, and a project engineer intern, and so on. However, here it is blank, and the exact same thing that we saw for Nicole. Nicole has a blank title. So if you were to look for an estimator specifically within the title, you would miss Nicole. Even though she does have a current title as a general manager, somewhere when she was filling out the monster form, she didn't bother to fill in the most recent employer possibly or the most recent job title. In fact, Officer Beiter, if I put into a modified search back to the estimated most recent title and leave this alone, well, I have more or less than 41 candidates.
Considerably less.
Let's take a look. Completely agreed. But is it somebody that is, as we call it, low-hanging fruit? Is it somebody that we would actually contact?
Could be.
So here, possibly, Architectural Grill. That's an interesting name. I wonder if it's like a place that serves food and design your blueprint for you as well. How would you like your cheeseburger with bacon? With a high-rise and some retail in the bottom, please. Thank you. If we have any clients after this area, I would be very surprised.
Looking forward to getting those calls.
HVAC estimator, again, the purpose of this is not to specifically determine whether this person is the right person for our client, but to show the different ways the Booleans can or can't be constructed. So here we have PlanSwift estimating software. It's a very succinct possibility. New Outlook's construction, because your old Outlook wasn't all that good. So now they got a new Outlook. Eric, I don't know if you know this, but the company that they had was called Old Outlook. And it wasn't selling their services all that well, so they decided to call it New Outlook.
Well, sometimes, you have that revelation in life, and you just really feel like you want to take a new turn on it. Good for
It's a
them.
new outlook for everybody. Well, this person is a construction estimator. I could be wrong, but again, just to reiterate my point, well, here he is. Sorry about that, because I have estimator up in the title. So that is some low-hanging fruit. And here he took the time to fill it out. He's got PlanSwift. Now, he didn't capitalize this, but that doesn't make any difference because Monster is not case sensitive. Estimator, estimates, and so on for who we're looking for. Okay. And so on and so forth. So let's call it Boolean thought. Number 3 is add in.
And this is your first session with us, right? Doing the Booleans and recordings?
It is.
Pretty exciting having you in the room with us.
I appreciate it.
Excited.
Get a
I'm
lot of
excited
get a lot of material for my Friday night stand-up tonight.
There you go.
Oh boy. Looking forward to that, Ken. Where are you going to be doing stand-up?
Probably ukuleles down the street.
Are you? I'm sure it's hilarious. Say something funny, Ken.
Something funny, Ken.
That nailed it. That nailed it. That nailed it.
All right.
So,
Well, getting back to this. So I like this PlanSwift. I thought that was pretty good. I think that kind of nails it for us. But let's add some more things in here, Eric, and see who we get. Now, I know that you had a few other interesting thoughts that might have gotten us a little bit closer to the kind of person we're looking for. And one of the things you said was retail, construction, tenant improvements. So these are all things that we can use within our Boolean. Now, I'm just going to paste a whole bunch of different things in here, and I'm going to break it up. I think I heard you say tenant improvements, interior fee, all that stuff, right?
yeah. Yep. All those are applying to what they're doing, and absolutely.
All right. So how can we group this? And retail, or construction, or hopefully they're working for a general contractor, or
Did I spell tenant correctly, sir?
yeah,
Is there 2 N's in that?
either two. I mean, I'm not sure.
That's a great
See,
question.
I didn't change it either.
It's not trying to correct you.
Oh, I was curious.
What's happening here? And how is tenant spelled? Eric,
Questioning
bring it-
myself.
questioning
Questioning
myself as
myself
well.
here. I want to make sure.
Tenant is spelled like that. Tenant.
It was
Okay,
two ends.
What,
All right.
what happens if I go without with one end? What does all that do?
What the heck? That's right too.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Oh boy!
So I got a little.
So what do? I think we put them both.
I think we have to go two variations of this, don't we?
I completely agree. Now I got to tell you something. It's kind of interesting to me. Okay, so let's go with this tenant improvement, and I'm gonna again. There's a little glitch with the monster. It will give us tenant improvement or tenant improvements. The only problem is that it will not show the actual highlighted word. Well, I'm just gonna go with interior or remodel, like remodeling, remodeler, remodels, remediation. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, take that one out, maybe.
I'm probably gonna take it out. You're right.
Yeah.
Not very common for them to do remediation. Wrong operator.
Boom.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting to me. I'm gonna leave this out, and I'm gonna put in tenant improvement with one end and see what happens. Actually, let me try this right now. Control C. I have to. A little test one. The one I got tenant improvement with two ends, and then I got tenant improvement and tenant improvement. And I have to. If you're listening to this far, oh, you got nothing better to do then, huh?
You're deep into this.
You're so deep. You're invested.
You want to know what's going on.
You want to know what happens? We're gonna show you what happens.
Say asterisk on remodel is the only thing you got to do for the other two.
You're equal. Absolutely right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Keeping it honest, Eric. I like it. Officer Beiter, you like that?
I do.
Perfect. Good.
It's late Friday afternoon. I mean, we got to get this done, right? Curious though, right?
All right, so here I am only using the estimate, and I'm going to put tenant as two ends. So that one,
Which he doesn't like, right?
correct. So he doesn't like that.
Oh, this is no.
That's his no. Tenant could be in there somewhere.
Could be.
And I have estimator in here, but we don't really need that anymore, do we?
Good call.
35
There you go. That looks better. Pratik says,
I'm not even sure if tenant is going to be up in here or not.
I know we do have a lot on that string there.
So for those not familiar, I just hit Control F. Nothing. Nothing. You don't even have tenant up in there. Now, let me kind of go back here and see if this helps us out. How about tenant spelled correctly? What happens then?
Let's see where we go from. So right now we got 35, right?
35 is correct, sir.
Okay.
Now we got same 35.
Which tells us tenant improvement doesn't seem to be maybe in any of these possible.
It's very possible.
Would be my first thought.
Eric, I just can't get enough of this.
I feel you. I mean, I'm excited about this. I know we're going to get some exciting information coming out of this. This is what we like to call drilling deeper. It really is.
This is the red pill phase, if you will.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. At some point in time, you should have chosen blue. Let's see if we can get anybody with it, huh?
One.
Well,
Okay. just not finding it in here.
They had something.
We've had this. It had tenant.
Well, take the A off. It had one there. I don't know what that is.
It's just a stat.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Very
unfortunately, it does not even bring it up in here. Unless I change up the Boolean one more time.
Huh?
I got rid of the. I'm guessing he has a plural in here somewhere.
I agree with you on that. Oh, you're right.
That's him, right?
That's him again.
That's a glitch with a monster. So, and I'm gonna guess 10. There it is.
There it is.
10 and
And yet somehow it was too weird. It did not find it in the find option.
I'm gonna modify the search here a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm curious for how many people. Is there anybody that misspelled 10? That's within 200 miles of the zip code. I know it's a broad-based search. There's not many people even have that, huh?
No?
I'm kind of.
Our director of recruiting said Blake says capital T dot, capital I dot is the other abbreviation for them too. That they all tend to abbreviate it.
I can see that too. It's a TI. So we're gonna ask Francisca and hope we get that. I believe that we are gonna get more than 2. There we go. There's 7.
Ooh.
Some of the same people here. Unfortunately, again, now the glitch with the monster. We saw it previously highlighted. It is not anymore. Where did I see tenant improvements?
Let's see what's at the.
Somewhere around here, wasn't it?
Maybe that's
There it is, right there. Facilitated tenant improvements,
There you go.
August 2010 through August 2011.
There it is, right there. But we got a lot more people, especially ones up front. So here's Russell, and I'm gonna guess that Russell did not pluralize it, and he's an estimator here. Oh, it looks pretty good for your client, possibly here. Anybody see tenant improvement somewhere? It should not be plural.
Let's see it. Hence the reason we enjoy them being highlighted.
Yeah.
Because although we know it's in here, finding it and putting it in the right context to make sure it is what you're looking for is important.
I think I've called out this glitch, Eric, on every single one of our Boolean search sessions for Monster. I know that they listen to it. I hope that one of these times the programmers over there will take me at my word and start highlighting these. It really should be coming up here because you can tell it is executing the proper search. Now, I'm kind of curious about one thing. Did anybody misspell tenant?
Oh, that's a good call there, yeah.
Nobody. Eric?
These guys, I'm the only one.
You're the only one that misspelled tenant.
Darn it. I wish I had an engineering degree. Maybe I would have got that one right.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna look at all the locations that we purchased because I want to see if anybody's misspelled tenant.
Help a guy feel better. Come on.
I will. I'm gonna try.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Oh no, Chris. Oh, boy.
Noodle on
All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna hope that Chris comes up again without the asterisk. So we can find. There he is.
There he is.
Oh boy. So one guy misspelled. Oh, there it is, Eric. You are right.
There's my guy.
I'm so sorry about that, Christopher Lee. Nobody knows. Nobody's listening to us anyway. Don't worry about it.
You're good. You're good, Chris.
It's just fine.
We'll send you a link, Chris.
I'm gonna get rid of the tenant part of it with the extra end. I think we had enough fun over here. But I will tell you this: I do think that it makes life a lot easier when you can just kind of see the highlights. So I'm gonna make my life and real life, everybody's life, a little bit easier over here. Again, put it in or, and as we are building on these strings here, I got to get extra. parentheses, tenant improvement. Let's kind of go through this one more time and see what it is that we are getting. I think I got too many tenants in here. All right, let's take a look at it one more time. I have estimate with an asterisk. Officer Beiter, what does that do? Refresh my memory, please.
That's going to pick up any resume that has estimate, and then any variation of the word estimate after that. Estimator, estimating, estimation.
Exactly. I'll tell you one thing that is a 100% fact. If I were to do the exact same thing, except I did this, estimator, well over 1,000. How about estimator? And we got 39 of them that we know misspelled estimator, just like that. So we're not judging candidates by whether or not they can spell the word estimator, but we know that there are plenty of them. And if I put estimator up in the main keyword here, boom, there's 152 people in this country that misspell the word estimator in their resume. And here's one that does it right here.
Right at the job title, yeah.
And right here, too. Well, look, we're not here to judge Timothy Kearns by whether or not he can spell it, but it certainly behooves them, as any skillful recruiter, to teach them how to spell that word properly. So we know that in advance. It feels like what we go with. The very bottom Boolean here is what we went with, right?
I believe that was where we ended up.
So we got estimating, estimator, misspelled estimating, plan swift or plan swift, and we have seen this in two different ways. That will drill down to exactly the kind of person our client is looking for. And you got retail or construction or as a general contractor, tenant improvement. Did I mess that up? I think I deleted the wrong one, Eric.
Oh crap! Do we have number 4? Because you added an S to these.
Well, they're invested this far, Eric. Hopefully,
they're following. They know.
You think anybody's still even listening to this broadcast? Oh,
I think we went from several thousand to maybe like a couple hundred at this point. Okay. So thank you guys for hanging in. A couple hundred that are out there still hanging on.
It's a deep rabbit hole.
The surprise. Let's see here. Control C. The surprise after all of this, Officer Beiter is going to teach us tactical assault. Techniques, right?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Building breach, right?
Absolutely.
It's a breach technique, I thought. Yeah.
Button hook clearing.
08857. I love it. Good stuff. I think it was 08857. And we're going to go for some low-hanging fruit, say within 20 miles. 20 miles. Let me get rid of this here. Why does it do that? I'm almost afraid to click anything else.
He's like, I'm almost afraid to do that.
I am. And here we are back to the 35 people that we had. Now, again, if you want to drill down a little bit further, if you want to get to the people that you think are worthy of calling right away, who is an estimator right now, I'm not sure how this guy got in there. How did Dimitri Goober get in there? Supervisor, huh? Oh, here it is, estimator. Construction project manager and a dental lab technician, huh? Well, that's why people employ us, I think. We already looked at new Outlooks construction. He left over Outlooks. He was tech construction. Again, the purpose of this is not to identify the person that we are looking for, but more to see whether or not the Boolean that we are putting in works. And over here, we've got a senior estimator running an estimating department, estimating, and so on. You'll notice that some of the keywords that we've used, whether it's construction, here he's got plan swift, but he has it as 2 words, and I think that's very important to be able to capture that.
I think it's interesting that at the very top, the most recent job title, estimate, picked up a word in the target job title section instead of the most recent job title section.
You're right, and this is what you're referring to over here. But he also does list himself as an estimator up on top, even though his current position is that.
Which is
So
good to
maybe
know.
this is where in Monster they have the most recent title that you're filling in. Can't quite
Interesting.
tell, but you're right. I think it's an excellent observation. And he'll make you some dentures too at Ultrafine Dental Studio.
He can do that.
All right. Well, thank everybody for joining us today on this Boolean search session. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, although if I was watching this, I probably wouldn't. And subscribe to our channel for more great content. I promise you that, Eric, I think we're going to do better next time, don't you think?
You know what? Practice makes perfect, David, and I look forward to doing 75 to 100 more of these.
I love it. Also, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, boy. What could that possibly be? Or let us know if there's a topic that you'd like to see us cover. Thank you again for watching. Happy hunting. David Coreen with Eric Maddox and Ken Officer Beiter signing off from Davron. Thank you all for listening and watching.